Hey, do you know Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah from Tommy C's Shot from the Point Live and Dead on Dave's The Playlist Live? Well, he's got a brand new song. The composer, actually, it's a song that's been out for a while, but it's going to be brand new to you because it's going to be 100% free on Friday the 13th. It's called The Composer. It's spooky. Go check it out for free. He'll be dropping it. Make sure you're checking it.
Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah, man. I got this one. Let's go. You ever seen the morning star? Mr. Metaphor Messiah, back to show you who we are. I represent a legacy, a pothead like the 70s, a different kind of mind. They say we only speak in melodies. Legend in the game.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dead on Dave coming at you live from Germany, as always. How's everybody doing? It's Wednesday. And there's no Tommy C. I know this time is weird. It's like, what are you doing? You're an hour before. Are you that old? Do you get dyslexia? Did you get Alzheimer's? What happened? Why are you here? Well, Tommy C. unfortunately is sick, and I decided, as a good battle buddy should, I go ahead and jump into his time slot. I want the views. Give me your viewers, Tommy C. This is just going to be a fun show. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of different things. It's kind of an opportunity, first time really since I've been back, that I'm going to be able to just talk about all the things that I want to talk about, things that I missed, things that are going on now. So many different things that I want to get to, talk about, take your calls, questions, comments, concerns, hopes, dreams, quips, quotes, likes, loves, and so much more. We're going to be doing it live on the Discord in Waiting to Call. Don't forget, okay? And that link is in the description box. I'm sure one of my wonderful mods will make sure to get that link to the Discord right in the comments section very, very soon. So make sure you are keeping up on that. We're going to be taking all those things and waiting to call, so make sure you're there. Lots of stuff I want to get to, so let's start with this. RiceGum's diss track was absolute trash. I just don't know any other way to say it. You know, it's like I thought about like how creative can I be with how I'm going to say it? What am I going to do with this exactly? Should I break it down? Should I maybe like go to the lyrics and there's no fucking need. There's no need to break this down. There's no need at all to like overthink this thing. Essentially, if you play this in time, just like the Wizard of Oz and like the Pink Floyd album, I swear to Christ, if you play this in time with Idubbbz's Content Cop, I swear to God, it's almost like point for point, he proves Idubbbz right. It really is kind of sad. And the song is awful. It's just, I don't listen to a lot of RiceGum because he's not a good rapper. I mean, that's why I don't listen to him. But good Lord, it was bad. It was hard to listen to. Like there is nothing about his voice that would tell anybody ever, you know, I want to listen to this. I mean, Jesus Christ, Rebecca Black, who I believe is more talented than RiceGum, and that's saying something, got lambasted for years. She is one of the biggest memes in the history of YouTube because of how bad her voice was. Yet this fucking guy has got a way worse voice, no ability to fucking rap at all, no flow, no musicality to him whatsoever. Yet he gets praised. Why? Because he takes shots at people who actually do things. And the one thing that I do want to point out here is because he did bitch an awful lot during this cry fest of a diss track that he made, which was well produced, by the way. Gonna give credit there. Who's ever producing this shit is absolutely amazing. It really is, because it's good. But he kept talking about Idubbbz being obsessed with him. RiceGum, you fucking idiot, you asked for it. You literally begged for this thing. You wanted it to happen, and he went to work on it. It was just, I don't look. Musical tastes are different for everybody, different strokes for different folks, that whole shebang. And I totally understand. If you like his music, you like his music. You're not going to have an issue with me. But to me, it's unlistenable. And it's kind of funny that within the same 24 hours that insult to rap music, that insult to diss tracks was dropped in the exact same time frame as another diss track. An actual diss track was dropped by Eminem. Eminem goes, and drops a diss track. Now, politically, I don't really agree with much of what he said. I don't. I think most of it is it's just being absolutely steamrolled and railroaded by the media, and maybe for some entertainment purposes, a lot of people in Hollywood and the different industries have to agree with it. That's completely fine and dandy. But that's notwithstanding. I don't give a shit what he said about Trump, what he said about all. I don't care. I don't care. Whatever. But God damn it, that is how you do a diss track. That no music needed. Sometimes you just spit, and you do it with something called talent, which Eminem clearly does. Now I see Alex Butters in the chat. Dave, you don't get it. This shit doesn't mean anything. It's all about money. That is the lamest thing in the world, because basically you're essentially saying that nothing means anything. So what's the point of fucking life? Now you can go that route, and that's completely fine. And there is a modicum of truth to that, where there are a lot of things that people don't say or mean or whatever. But money does mean something. Money means something. Money is something that is prevalent all throughout. It allows us to do things that we can't do without it. Does it buy happiness? Absolutely not. I will never say that, but it certainly can fucking rent it for a little bit of time. And I think most people prove that. And when you're talking about something that is a form of entertainment like YouTube is, it's a rising form of media, these things do matter within the context of people losing jobs, gaining jobs, heightening their career, losing their career. All these things do have some sort of matter now in the grand scheme of things, like in the universe, the cosmos and all that. No, it doesn't mean anything, but what does? But what does? So when's Dave's diss track coming? Probably not. I'm awful too. I did a little rap on my Twitter earlier. Pretty proud of it. It's awful. Doesn't mean I can't criticize something else for being awful. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. I don't really want to talk about it too much. It's just, if you're going to watch it, and the likes, it's actually better than 50% right now, which it was better than 50-50, which I was a little bit surprised about. But it's pretty damn interesting to see that he was going to milk it, and then he decided not to milk it, and then he released it, and this is what we got. And in it, he really does just prove every one of Ian's points correct. Every single, he does. He even contradicts himself in the same goddamn song. Now, at some point, I might go ahead and go a little more in depth, but I really don't care too much to do so. I simply just want to make this point that this thing is absolute ear cancer of the highest fucking degree. Ace Trainer Liam's in the chat. Dead on diddly 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 diddly. What's going on, you blue-haired mush puff? How you doing, buddy? So that's the first thing I wanted to get to. I just wanted to get this out of the way. Didn't want to make it a main topic of the show, but it is something that was on my mind. And I do find it interesting how the world does tend to show you balance and counterbalance. You know, it shows you something that we all think that we know is the new status quo of diss tracks, with everything that we're hearing from KSI and RiceGum and all these guys who this is what they do. But then we see people from yesteryear, people with actual fucking talent, in Eminem. Now, whether you agree with his political stance or not, it's irrelevant when you're talking about just the making of music. And this is exactly something that I've talked about for a very, very long time. Even with YouTube growing in popularity amongst kids and people, the young demographic who just walk around on their phones watching YouTube, which I'm not knocking, by the way. Nothing wrong with that. Not a little bit wrong with that. That is just the life that we live in, where everything is constant, 24 hours, nonstop, all go, constant, inundate. Give me more information. I'm Johnny 5, input. There's nothing wrong with that. But because it's 24/7, because these guys are constantly dropping things, there is not the production and simply really not the talent that we see in the traditional form of media, where there are checks and balances to keep certain people in, certain people out, whether it be based off talent, look, politics, sexuality, whether you agree with it or not. And I certainly don't, that those are some limitations within the traditional form of media. It does kind of help with a lot of the filtering out of utter fucking trash that I have to hear on a daily basis. So it's very interesting to me. Alex Butters, dude, comparing RiceGum to Eminem is just wrong. Well, no shit, Sherlock. No shit. But the fact is, they're in the same subgenre, and they dropped diss tracks within the same 24-hour period. So that's the reference point. Believe me, there was no comparison between RiceGum and Eminem. If that's what you took away from my comment, think about your life choices. Ace Trainer Limb. Your mama was a snowblower. Hell yeah, my God. Now everyone's going to watch Short Circuit, and it's because of this guy. All All right, so getting that out of the way, I want to talk about some other things, then we'll get to some calls. I don't have a lot to yammer and yap and rant about and all of that. I really want to hear from you guys. I want to talk to you guys. I want you to get in my waiting to call. One of my wonderful mods will make sure to put the link to the Discord right in the chat. It is in the description box. Just do a little bit of digging, scroll down, and you'll get it. So it's pretty interesting. And also the Copious hat changes and such are in play for tonight. If you guys want to see some other hats, feel free to donate to the channel. It's description box below. All right, let's get into some other stuff that I want to talk about. You see, I'm rocking a little bit of Star Wars. Michael, Eminem's diss track was still pretty bad. In what fucking way was Eminem's diss track bad? In what way? Now, politically, the message, the lyrics, I'm not talking about those because, look, he rhymed, they were well done, but he flowed, man. He spit that shit and it was with passion. You don't have to agree with the message to think that something is musically good or not. That fucking thing was fire. I'm sorry, and I hate to use that fucking term, but that was fire. Ooh, fire. It was amazing. It was amazing. I don't know, but regardless, I don't believe that what we're seeing is a indictment of all diss tracks is the point. What RiceGum does is not an indictment of all diss tracks. All diss tracks are horrible. I disagree with that. In the 80s, we saw a huge rising of good rap artists that were putting out all these 80s and 90s, as a matter of fact, throwing out some amazing stuff and really just pushing the boundaries musically. And to rip someone to shreds. I don't think they're necessarily bad. I think what we're seeing is bad. So fairly interesting there. All right, so you guys see that I'm rocking the Star Wars gear a little bit today, because if you've been watching the channel for more than 5 minutes, you know how I feel. I'm a Star Wars man from a Star Wars land. Love it. Always will. Can't help it. I love it. And on Monday Night Football, the only thing worth watching, even as a Bear fan, the only thing worth watching on Monday Night Football was the Star Wars trailer. That's right. The Last Jedi has a full-blown trailer. We're not that far away from the movie, and I can't fucking wait until we get this thing, man. I'm telling you, this trailer had everything that I wanted out of it. I mean, I made a list of the things that I would like to see in the trailer, and I literally got all of it. Literally got all of it. I was so happy. I was so excited to see this. I almost cried when I saw Princess Leia. I don't care if you think I'm a fucking big sissy boy. I did. It was heartbreaking, especially in the context of how that was. I don't know if that's going to be the actual scene, but the things that they were doing was absolutely amazing. The way they set it up, the way that I think there's a lot of misnomers in that trailer. I think there's a lot of things that we think that we saw that we did not fucking see. And I'm just, I'm enamored, man. I'm freaking out over this thing. It's really, really good. The fact is, it's hard to make a bad trailer, and obviously a good trailer doesn't mean shit as far as the actual quality of the movie. Look at Suicide Squad. Quite literally one of the best trailers you will ever see for a movie. It's fantastic, especially I think the second one was just incredible. But the movie was shit. Doesn't mean the same thing will happen with Star Wars. Can you watch Star Wars in English and German? Yes, I can. We have American kinos here, which are theaters. And yes, we do have them. In fact, I saw the last time I went to the theater and the first time in probably a decade that I had gone to the theater was 2 Christmases ago when I saw Force Awakens. And I loved it. It was incredible. It was great. It was absolutely great. And I cannot wait to see what is going to happen in this movie. Ace Trainer Liam says, oh, we're 100% seeing Leia die at Rey's hands. No, Liam, what's the matter with you? No, that can't happen. I'm not exactly sure which way they're going to go. I think this is, if Star Wars history tells us anything, the second movie is usually very dark toned. It's very maudlin. It usually ends on a down note with a glimmer of hope. Potentially. I mean, that's kind of how we always get a bunch of people up in here. Catherine B, Real Talk Metaphor Messiah is here, as you saw at the very beginning of the show. He's got a brand new song. Well, not brand new song. I keep saying that because I'm a fucking idiot. But no, it's actually an older song off of Black Mozart called The Composer, and he's going to be giving it away for free on Friday. That's right, this Friday, the 13th. Make sure you check that out. That's my man, Dave. Sup, bro? Glad to see you well. I'm doing okay. Things aren't too bad. I'm here talking to all you beautiful people. I also see Leech live, Alex Butters, Connor McDonald, all kinds of people. How you guys doing? So I'm very excited about Star Wars, and I'm going to talk to you guys about it, I'm sure, in just a few seconds. I want Star Wars to go Game of Thrones. Big swerve. I like that. I like that. You're always thinking, Ace Trainer Liam. That's really all the main things that I kind of want to talk about. I didn't want to talk about too much other than that. I want to go right to the calls. I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you guys have to say. I want to hear what is on your mind, what questions you might have. Do you want to talk about the RiceGum situation? Do you want to talk about wrestling? Whatever you guys want. I know there are people who was like, I want wrestling. Unfortunately, there wasn't enough people who were outcrying for it to where I can really build an entire show, and just kind of, you know, it didn't really seem to make a lot of sense when there was other things to talk about. So I decided to just make it into one big hodgepodge of a show, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. So get in my waiting call right now. Let's take some callers. Alex Butters, Dave, any thoughts on a new Blade Runner movie? Haven't seen it yet. Heard very good things. I'm a huge fan of Blade Runner. That's my jam. That's my jam. I do want to see it. I just don't know when I will. Benji's here. How you doing? Benja, The Force Awakens 2, Electric Boogaloo. Yes, I'd watch that shit. I'd watch that in a heartbeat. Well, let's not fucking gild the lily or beat around the bush. Let's get right to it. Let's go to our first caller of the night. The one, the only, the Slimmer. Leech Live. What's going on, pal?
What's up, Dave?
Oh my God, you sound like refried butthole.
What do you mean?
You sound awful. You are Robo Voice Supreme.
Oh, wait.
Yep. Sound like you're calling on a 1989 Motorola brick. It's fantastic. And he's inside of a car, and he's like doing drugs off of like another fucking Wall Street businessman's testicles. That's what that sounds like. It's amazing. It's still bad. Well, okay. Let me go to Super Rising Storm, and I'll try to get you back in here. Let's try another German. We tried one German. First German didn't work. Let's try a second German. Let's go to Super Rising Storm, the one, the only Flo. What's up, buddy?
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. Hold on one second. Real Talk Metaphor Messiah. Dave, did you see M freestyle on Trump? Did you miss you must have missed the beginning of the show. Yes, I saw it. It was absolutely amazing. I don't really give a shit about what he said politically, because I think a lot of it is all, there's some truth to it, but there's also a lot of spin to it. I don't care about that. What I do care about is he just showed YouTube how to actually make a fucking diss track. That's all I care about. It was powerful, it was emotional, and it was well done. Doesn't mean that it's 100% accurate, but still, whatevs. That's a different discussion for a different day. I don't care about the politics of it. I care that it was a good song. Super Rising Storm, what's up, pal?
That's for being late, Jay.
That's what. What's up, pal? What can I do for you, Flo?
Just talking about the Star Wars trailer.
Yes, you've been waiting for this. You've been waiting to talk to me about this for like a day and a half.
Yep. So, what's your take on it?
What? You just heard me. I just said I fucking upset. What the heck? You just did the exact same thing Real Talk just did to me. You just did the exact same thing.
I got ya.
You got me. Bazinga.
Well, like I said on the Pokemon stream, I'm pretty sure that it's a struggle between, or a struggle with Rey and Kylo switching from the dark side or light side, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Because when people saw the scene where it seems like Kylo was about to kill Leia,
yeah,
I don't think that's the case.
I don't think so either.
First off, he struggles. Second off, before Carrie Fisher died, rest in peace.
Yeah.
The director said that they were planning to put her in the third movie, so yes, she's not going to die in this one.
But if you remember back, there were some reshoots done about a month after she died. There was rumors, reports. There were rumors that they actually changed parts of the movie, and that was why they were going to be pushing it back. I don't know if it's actually been officially pushed back, but there was all these words about it. It's I got a feeling they ended up do kill her off, because they don't want to CG her in the third movie. So I don't know. It's going to be very interesting.
I mean, they said they didn't want her to recreate her by CGI or something like that, or another actress. And
even though when they did it with her young version in the in the fucking Rogue One, it was awesome. I thought it looked really good.
Yeah, me too.
I thought it looked really, really good. Now, granted, Grand Moff Tarkin didn't look fantastic. He looked rather video gamey, but still not that bad considering the motherfucker's dead.
But I have to say, I was sitting in the movie and like, wait a minute, they didn't. That actor's dead. What?
He's very long dead. Very, very, very long dead. I'm fairly certain there's dust and not much bone left at this point. That dude's been dead a while.
Most likely. But it was great CGI at first, but then you could have kind of saw it. Okay, it's a little.
You give it I gave it a pass though. It didn't bother me. It didn't take away from shit. And certainly Leia's was Princess Leia there, young Princess Leia. That was awesome. I really liked that as well. So all that worked for me. But as far as this trailer goes, everything worked. There was like nothing that I saw that really bothered me other than Mark Hamill. Okay. Mark Hamill is not exactly the greatest actor to ever live. I understand that. But I'm not sure if the way that he was acting is by design or if he really is just not good. It's kind of hard to tell. And I know it's hard to frame in context of a trailer, but did you notice that too, or was it just me?
I think it's just a role that Luke is a little traumatized from what happened with Kylo and his other Padawans he had back then. So, I mean, we got the part of the flashback where his school was burnt down and he was under the rubble trying to get out.
They've shown a few times, at least remnants of the Knights of Ren. I'm not sure if we're going to I don't know how familiar you are with the canon or not, but I'm not sure if we're going to get a lot of Knights of Ren. I think we're going to, and I'm wondering where they all went. So
I saw concepts arts of them, so maybe.
It looks cool. The movie just looks good, plain and simple. Acer and Liam said the one thing they didn't do a good job in Rogue One was Vader's voice. Sounded less Vader, too much like regular J.J. That's right, James Earl Jones. 100%. Oh, by the way, somebody had me lolling like crazy when they said, is Blade Runner the sequel to Blade?
What?
Well done, sir.
Do your research, man.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was for the meme there, but still very, very funny. So
Jesus Christ.
What did you take away from the trailer, and what questions do you have about the trailer now that you've seen it?
Well, the first movie was called The Force Awakens, and everyone was questioning what was that about, because we didn't see anything about that in the first one. And now with Snoke narrating that Kylo has something special within him. And then Rey continuing...
Wait. If Snoke was talking to Kylo, which I'm not 100% sure he was.
I think he said, I found you.
Yes, but that doesn't necessarily mean in the physical sense. I'm wondering if halfway through the movie we're going to see something a la Empire where Luke leaves his training early to go help and all of that. But I'm wondering if it's going to happen a little bit earlier. We're going to have a little bit of a switch roles here. And I got to, because we see that, that Rey is clearly captured at some point. She's being tortured or something, and there's something very powerful that's controlling her doing that. We don't know if it's a flashback. We don't know anything, but I'm wondering if she ends up getting in the hands of Snoke at some point. Like I'm saying, I'm wondering.
I mean, we saw him torturing her in the trailer.
Yeah, which was awesome.
so some kind of, drawing her to the dark side, I guess.
It could be. There's so much there. The trailer works so well because of the ambiguity of it. Like, you really don't know exactly what to make about it.
Yeah, and many people fall for the kind of obvious things like, oh, he's going to kill Leia. Nope, he isn't. Kylo's reaching his hand out to Rey. No, he isn't.
For me, though, what are you most looking forward to this movie?
Basically, answers to all the questions.
Is it weird that the answers don't even... I know we're not going to get all the answers in this movie. I think there's going to be more ambiguity. But you know what I'm really looking forward to? I just want to see the training. I want to see Rey's training. I want to see how Luke becomes Yoda. I want to see his Yoda side. That's what I want to see.
Even if he wants to train her, because he's afraid of her power.
I wonder how early on we
see
that. Yeah, I wonder how early on we see that scene.
And I'm also wondering if the new movie picks up where it ended with Luke and Rey, or if we get another scene like fight some space battle between the rebels and the First Order.
Well, it's not very often that we don't start with some sort of ship battle of some kind, some sort of something. I mean, almost every Star Wars movie starts with ships. So
yeah.
I wouldn't bet against it. We're going to see something of information being disseminated, something, maybe we're going to see that new little character that we saw with Chewie. Apparently Chewie has his own sidekick now.
Yeah, he's cute as hell.
He's cute. I do agree. I want to like shit on it like, oh, there they are just making another goddamn character to make stuffed animals over. But that little bastard was cute.
I saw some trailer reactions and there was like, that's the new toy. There he is.
It was like Denver the Last Dinosaur meets fucking Gremlins. It was great. I loved it. Anyone remember that show, Denver the Last Dinosaur? It was great.
Yep.
Denver,
oh, yes.
The Last Dinosaur. Okay, Flo, what else you got for me, buddy?
Maybe some talk about wrestling.
What do you got?
No.
Whatever.
What do you think about Sammy and Kevin?
Love it. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Could not tell you how much I love it. It was unexpected. I mean, I know I'd read a couple of places that were kind of saying it. It did make sense. I think they could have went a different way with it involving Triple H, and I don't know if it would have been better or worse. But I like this. I'm a huge fan of seeing Sammy and Kevin together. I think they always work. They have great chemistry. The only thing that I saw off SmackDown was their promo together, and I thought they did a really good job with it.
Yeah.
It makes sense because Sammy's done nothing but suck. I love that line that he said on SmackDown. I've done all the right things. I've lived my life the right way. I cared about you. And what did it get me? It got me all the way to mediocrity. No, I used the word mediocrity, and I like that. Mediocrity,
but
great word use.
Basically what he said.
But great word use. Words matter in promos. If we would have said nothing, I think it would have felt empty. But he used mediocrity, and I like that. That was
agree.
Great.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool.
I mean, the moment at Hell in a Cell was like, whoa. I mean, when Will, Kirsty, and I watched it, Kirsty was going crazy. In
I'm sure. I'm sure. It's interesting because, they did the exact same spot from The Undertaker Hell in a Cell, but I think it worked. I think it worked a lot.
I was worried at first because we saw this already, and then Sammy.
Right.
Like, what?
Adding Sammy there was cool. The timing of that was pretty awesome as well. It worked. I'm very, very happy with Sammy and Kevin. I think it's going to be a good storyline. And you know what? The fact is they're on the same show. You can't have them fight all the time. So this works.
It gets boring.
Their matches are always awesome. But yeah, you see it a lot. And if you've been a fan of these guys for a long time, you've really seen it a lot. So.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I like it.
His promo was a little too long, I think, but to get to the point.
Good plug. Get to the point news. Now out. Go watch it. I am in his time slot. I should plug something of his, for Christ's sake. Even though the bastard didn't fucking plug me. You know? Does he tweet me out? No. I'm too good of a friend.
Oh, speaking of Tommy, he asked me that I should talk with you and him more about the German indie scene. Yeah. I was like, okay, why not?
Yeah, I'm not really in. I know he's into the German indie scene. I really not too much into it, but there's been some good wrestlers that have come through here. So I mean, maybe someday, absolutely. Anything else for me? I want to get to Leech live, and then hopefully we'll get some more people up into waiting to call. One of my mods, do your wonderful job and put the link to the Discord in the comment section. It's also in the description box below. Get in a waiting call. We'll take some callers. All right.
Hopefully Leech mic works yet.
Hopefully. Go ahead and tell the kids. I know you're doing a whole bunch of projects right now. Go tell the kids where they can find you, buddy.
First off, on Twitter, where I'm usually around, at SuprisingStorm, and on our YouTube channel with Will, Martin, and Kirsty, Smacked Up Wrestling Live.
There you go.
Yeah, I think tonight at what was it, 11 or 12 p.m. our review of Raw and SmackDown and Hell in a Cell.
There you go. Make sure you check him out. Thanks a lot, Soup. See you later, Flo.
See ya.
Flo, everybody. Let's see if Leech went and fixed his shiza. What's going on, Leech Live? You're live with Dead on Dave. What do you got?
I hope this is better now.
Much better, but you still sound like a lesbian who's been smoking for 30 years.
What?
Nothing. What's up, bud?
Is it good now?
Yeah, you're fine, man. You're fine.
Oh, okay.
I was making fun of your voice in general, but you're good. You're good.
You know what? You know what? No, nothing.
Oh, go ahead. Fire back. Put it up my boomer.
No. I was about to fire back, but Germans firing at Americans usually comes to haunt us.
Yeah, it doesn't end well for you.
That doesn't
end well. It's a bad one.
Got him.
Got him. What's up, man? How you doing, buddy? I haven't heard from you in a while.
I am doing enormously fine. How are you doing? I saw you were in America.
I was for about 3 weeks, man. First time in 12 years. They're gallivanting around, doing all kinds of good stuff, seeing people, trying to save my mother from herself. But I survived.
Must be interesting to go back after like over a decade.
That's one word for it. It was overwhelming. It was everything's changed. Everything's changed except, when you hear all the bad things about the States and stuff in the media and social media and everybody talking about how like nobody's talking to each other and everybody, I just didn't have that experience, man. I had a fantastic experience. I talked to a lot of people. I was out every single day walking around some of these smaller towns on the East Coast and then into my own neighborhoods in Chicago where I grew up on the South Side. And people were warm. They were friendly. Everybody had a story to tell. People would just walk up to you and just talk. It was like I remembered. And that was nice. I needed to see that. I really did.
That sounds like a good time. Yeah.
I had a great time. Really did.
Well, I need to go back to the U.S. too because I don't know if you know this, but I've actually been in the U.S. for 3 consecutive weeks.
Oh, really?
When I was 16, I was in San Francisco and most of the time actually located in Nampa, Idaho.
Idaho? What the hell were you doing in Idaho? Holy shit!
It was just I was going on a very, very rural college, and our exchange school happened to be in Boise, fucking Idaho.
Lucky you to pull the Boise, Idaho. It's like I can just imagine it now. Like you're sitting there in your German school, and you signed up for the fucking foreign exchange program, and everybody's getting their assignments. Someone drew New York, another person drew Las Vegas, California, all these things. And Leech, come here, buddy. Here's what you got. Boise, Idaho. It's like,
do you know what the extra bonus jackpot on top of Nampa, Idaho was?
What's that?
The family was Mormon.
Nice. Nice. That's awesome. So did you get like hit with rulers a lot, or did you see polygamy? What would happen?
No, it's there's like 2 different kinds of Mormons.
Yes, I know.
One of these like backwards in like Utah, and then you have these actually just normal. They just add another book to the Bible thingy, thinking about this guy, and everything else just basically went kind of normal. Some specification when it came to food and stuff, but yeah, well, it's the same as if I would have happened to end up in a Jewish family,
But yeah,
other rules than from my other upbringing.
That would have been interesting. It would have have been great had you been linked up with like a Hasidic Jew fucking family. I mean, how great would that have been? Like, oh God. Like, no, I smell a sitcom. How great. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Idaho was actually great. You know how Germans are usually called the potato people, and Idaho is like the potato valley of the U.S.
Wait a second. Wait. I've been here 15 years. I've never heard
you never heard that?
I've never heard Germans being referred to as potato people. That's the Irish.
That's
wait, hold on. My wife's clarifying. Wait, Melanie, go ahead. I need a ruling.
No, most of the foreigners think we only eat potatoes.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard this before. Oh yeah, well I know the Lederhosen, but I mean like, but the potatoes. I mean that's Irish. I don't. That's well.
It's mostly a stereotype being pushed towards us by them Turkish folks.
Oh, the Turks. Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to push as a meme here.
Gotcha.
And
gotcha.
so I felt basically at home, you know, it's like, oh, they just speak a different language, and they have another crazy religion. It's basically home. Oh,
It's
that was a
basically
good time,
home.
actually.
That's
It was
cool.
a good time. And yeah, so I was sitting here, right, and you were talking about RiceGum's diss track.
Yes.
And me being a connoisseur of American and German hip hop, I was listening to it.
Yeah.
And I have to say that track was the biggest tragedy in entertainment ever since Vince McMahon rupturing his quads while walking down to the ring.
At least that was
Boom.
entertaining. At least that was entertaining.
That was funny, but
yeah.
the other, it's just an insult to everybody who knows a little bit of decent music.
I think it just came off as sad. You know, that was the thing to me. Like the guy, like he can barely speak, and I don't want to like make fun of his speech impediment or whatever, which he clearly has. He sounds like fucking Daffy
Swagger.
Duck. Yeah, he does sound like Jack Swagger a little bit, more like Daffy Duck, like suffering fucking suck. That's Sylvester, but still, you know what I mean. It's just really
I don't
bad.
have a speech impediment.
The speech, it's there, but it's like, you know what it is? He produces a lot of spit. That's what it sounds like to me. Like when he's rapping, it just sounds like there needs to be a bib underneath him to catch all of the excess saliva that's always coming out of his mouth. Because that's what it feels like. That's how it sounds like. And aside from that, it was just shit. Like there was nothing to it. And on top of that, he proved every one of Idubbbz' point correct. Every single one of them. It was...
I think probably the saddest part was when he was trying to make this meme in the end, that there was a cop coming in and telling him to stop using music on the street. And then legitimately, he had no music in a diss track. That was not a diss track, that was a fucking poem, and a very poor on that.
I actually love the fact that he ended with the acapella, the no, because it's so perfect to put it right against what Eminem did. Because Eminem did an entire 4-minute song with no music. It was just...
Yeah, but Eminem had a clear voice.
Yes.
And he doesn't have a speech impediment.
Well, that's my point. One has talent, the other doesn't. And it was very fucking clear as to who. That's why I'm really glad this happened on the same day. Like, to me, that's karma. That's fucking the cosmos answering our fucking prayers. Because anybody who thinks that anything is going on of any substance or merit within the diss track community, you just got a lesson. You got a lesson from one of the greatest, if not the greatest fucking rapper to ever walk this planet in Eminem. He showed you how to do a diss track, how to fucking formulate and focus your thoughts. He did a great job with it. Whether or not you agree with the politics, that's another thing altogether. But he did a great job with that, and I like that it happened on the same day as RiceGum's tragedy to music.
Do you know what's also funny? I actually know a German guy who is a bit of an indie rapper, and he also has a speech impediment. But do you know the difference between him and RiceGum?
Probably good, yeah.
That guy actually has talent. You know, he carries his speech impediment kind of because his speech impediment makes some sounds sound a little bit different, and he actually uses it to an advantage because he can rhyme words that usually wouldn't rhyme in German.
Oh, really?
Because some words come out differently, he can use it to his own advantage.
That works out.
RiceGum would never actually get that in his mind.
No, he never will.
Oh, yeah, and something else that happened yesterday.
Yeah.
The US actually didn't qualify for the World Soccer Championship.
Yeah, I saw that. Wow. Look, and I know there is one person who is smiling right now, and his name is Jurgen Klinsmann, because they fired his ass because he was a terrible coach. And the American U.S. soccer team underachieved. I feel they had some of the most talent that they've had in a very long time. Now, I'm not a soccer guy, so feel free to correct me anytime you like. But after they fired Klinsmann, they were on fire. They were playing really, really well. And then they lost to fucking Trinidad and what was the other one?
Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, my God. That's rough.
The thing is here, right? Klinsmann came in as a coach, and Klinsmann is the reason why you now have a lot of talented young guys in the US squad. And the thing is, for example, Pulisic, right? He's one of the products of Klinsmann telling...
Already lost me. Already lost me. You're using names. You lost me already.
It's the one guy who plays for Dortmund who's like 19 years old. He's American, mega talent. probably the next U.S. Messi or whatever you want to call him.
I got to be honest with you. I used up all of my soccer prowess in that first little spiel. I got nothing left. I got nothing left, man.
Yeah, but the U.S. didn't make it. Now Panama takes the spot of the U.S.
Isn't that great?
That's funny to me.
It is. It's hilarious because anytime you want to troll U.S. soccer team, all you got to do is play a Van Halen song, and that's great.
Do you know what's even funnier?
What's that?
Fucking Iceland qualified, and Iceland has the entirety of Iceland has 330,000 people. That's a population of Anaheim, California.
It really is. It's. I just went to Iceland for the first time. I went there. I was there for about 45 minutes, but still, I was in Reykjavik, the capital of Iceland, and it was cool. It was a nice little country. Of course, I couldn't see anything because it was dark, but still.
Yeah, and basically Anaheim, California just qualified, but everything outside of Anaheim, California didn't manage to do this.
Right. Nobody else can play, but Anaheim can play. There you go. Mighty Ducks, quack, 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 motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I love it.
By the way, what do you think about the new Las Vegas team in the ice hockeys?
You know, it's unfortunate you're bringing up the two things that will absolutely drive the most people away from listening to a show, soccer and hockey. But I got to be 100% honest here. I'm loving the season of the NHL so far. I know we're not even a week in. And even more so, look, my Blackhawks are killing it right now. I'm really happy about them. This Las Vegas fucking Golden Knights team is fun. They are fun to watch. That place was sold out. It was rocking. They got a nice little team. Now, granted, they've had a very soft 3 games against 3 teams that they should beat, and they did. Really only 2 teams because they played Arizona twice, and they did. They're 3-0. This is great. I fucking love it, man. I'm glad that there's hockey in Las Vegas, and I'm going to get me a Golden Knights jersey for Christmas if I can afford one because they're beautiful.
So our experience is basically the same.
Yes. It's
because that's what I saw too.
Very fun hockey team. Very fun hockey team. And they seem to care. You know, they have a borderline elite goalie. Fleury is a great goalie when he wants to be. When he gets going, that guy is a fucking wall at times, especially when the pressure's on. He's known as a softie at times, but the guy can really play. Jamie Neal, I've been a huge fan of for a long time. There's a bunch of guys on that team that are just really, really talented. And even if they're not the most talented, they play as a team, and I like that.
Yep, that's how things work. You know, when you don't have the singleton people that will change the game like the Blackhawks have, where one guy can change the team, you get the team power in there, and then you beat them up.
F&A right. F&A right. You got anything else from Mr. Leechy?
Oh, well, yeah, I would recommend to all the Americans who don't like soccer, in the upcoming weeks, the MLS, the Major League Soccer, the U.S. soccer competition will go into its final weeks and also then the playoff games. And they have a very young, talented team from Atlanta that is currently stirring up the league with, I think, over 20 goals in the last 4 games. Mm-hmm. And they are heading into the playoffs as the young hot shit. And if you want to see why you should like soccer, watch their games in the playoffs because they will make you believe that soccer is better than any other sport.
But it's not though.
But it is. But it is, Dave. But it is.
Oh God, this is the worst part about having conversations with Europeans because it does not take long before we get to this point. But
it is. There's no argument, but it is.
I got nothing. I can't. I got nothing that will not result in one of us being dragged out of here in handcuffs. So
the thing is, Dave, everybody should enjoy the sports they enjoy.
Absolutely.
But I think the Americans should embrace the soccer a little bit more because it's the sport that unites people of all skin colors. You have Hispanics, African Americans, whites, and Asian Americans playing in one spot, in one team, and failing completely together.
Yeah, that's the thing. If all games didn't end in fucking ties and draws, and they weren't all fucking corrupt and stuff. I mean, I can't. It's hard for me, man. It's so hard for me to get behind soccer. And I'm fat. There's far too much running. Needless amounts of running. There's no cake on the other end of the fucking field. Like the ball's not made of goddamn fudge. Why are we running after it? It's hard. It's very difficult. All right, Leech, man. Tell the kids where they can find you, man. I know that you're kind of back with a vengeance. You're doing all kinds of wonderful things. You're getting your health and all that in order. So tell all the kids what's going on with you.
Oh, what's going on with me? Currently, nothing really. Actually,
I set you up, and I gave you, you know.
I have nothing to plug. I just made my fishing license. I'm going out doing stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well,
peace out.
Enjoy fishing, Leech. Take it easy, buddy. Good Lord. Real Talk Metaphor Messiah says, when I heard RiceGum's last track, I cried a little inside. I'm sure you did. Because, as an artist, as a rapper, who, by the way, is releasing a song on Friday the 13th, he's giving it away for free. The composer by Real Talk, Metaphor Messiah. I believe the artwork is done by Sammy May Designs as well. She's an absolute cutie with an eye for photography. And look what she did here. Absolutely beautiful. And the composer off Black Mozart, the hit album from just a little while back. Make sure you check that out. It's given away for free, people, on Friday the 13th. This Friday the 13th. I'm sure it did hurt your soul. How could it not? It had to make you question your fucking life choices, and I don't blame you at all. It was bad. It was bad. And just for anybody who's like, you know, Dave, you really shouldn't be like criticizing people who are doing the raps and stuff, because it's not easy to do, and you would probably suck at it too. Well, I did, and I do. So I'm going to play that for you in a second. If you guys want to get some topics in here, you want to talk about whatever you want to talk about bubble farts off of Egypt, I don't give a shit. Get your ass in the waiting call. If not, I'm only going to meander around for a little bit longer, then I'm going to take an early night off, if that's the case, which I don't want to do. I want to talk to you guys, so get in the waiting call or throw me questions in the chat, and I will react to them and give you as many answers as I can. But let's listen to my attempt, because I was inspired by RiceGum and Eminem in the juxtaposition between bad and awesome. Let's check out what your boy does with his rap ability. Weighed by the media, full off what they're feeding you. The expiration date is late and it's full of bacteria. Everybody's talking, but they don't have a clue. When will anybody learn that choices come down to you? Now I know my flow is rancid and my rapping skills are whack. If you think that you can do better, post below and take a crack. I'm great. I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there. I think I'm retiring. And I'm off. That's it. Look, it was more spoken word than rap. And you know what? I want to put somebody over too, because they went ahead. Somebody did respond. Only one person responded to me, and it was awesome. And I kind of want to put him over as well. This is from a dude called Mouthpiece. And I don't know if he wants me to play this. I really don't care, because it's my show. I'll do what I want. And he responded to my thread, so fuck him. Mouthpiece at @Luke. Really cool guy. And this is what he came up with in about 15 minutes of writing and putting together. Check this out.
Media causing blurred lines, and not for the first time or second or third time. It's countless. They spew puke and call it news, and we ain't supposed to doubt them reviews. Like a ball back and forth, it bounces. Then you came through, started rapping about it. I thought, shit, man, I better pull up my trousers.
Shit! I love it, man. I fucking love that shit. You hear that? That's absolutely amazing. Love it, man. I'm so happy that somebody actually responded to me. That's great. That is fantastic. Lunch Zolt. Who the fuck donates to this cunt? Currently, nobody in this show. But if you want to, you can have me change my hat for $3. There, eat my dick. The wife's going to sleep. Good night, Copious wife. How you doing? How much did you pay for the new PC? You don't ask about things like that, you uncultured swine. What's the matter with you? Why would you ask such a thing? No, I paid about 700 euro, 690 euro. Not too bad. So under $800. Not bad at all. Really, really, really damn good rig too. Hey, it was on short notice. I needed to have it happen, and luckily I had some family member step up and help me out, because it was the absolute. I don't know if you guys know this. Okay, before there are some more callers, and I'll get to them in just a second. Actually, I'll tell the story afterwards. Let me get to some more callers first. Let's go ahead and get to my blue-haired mush puff, my co-host on Nerd and the Jerk, which will be returning this week. The one, the only, the magnificent Ace Trainer Liam. What's up, pal?
Oh goddamn! You actually told me what I was.
Is he on the toilet?
I'm like, I will use my my wireless headset, because he's gonna be a couple of minutes before he gets to me. Biggie. It's all good.
He's trying to Liam from the can, baby. I love it.
Damn you, dead on.
I'm just my timing. It's impeccable. What can I say?
Absolutely. How are you?
I'm
been a
good.
while.
I miss you, man. How are you?
Where the fuck going to fucking America?
I'm telling
Hanging
you.
out with the Yanks. You're supposed to be European now.
No,
Why-
no.
No, we're not in the UK.
This is not the case. I am not European. Not even a little. Oh, by the way, I might be down your way at some point because I found out I can fly for free to the Air Force Base, Mildenhall Air Force Base. I don't know how far away that is from you. Did he forget the wipe? What happened? I can't hear you. You're back down the hall.
Oh, you know what that is?
What?
That probably means that I'm not on the wireless mic. Whoopsie.
No, you were not on the wireless mic at all.
Motherfucker.
Well
Discord
done.
is lying to me.
They lied to you. Holy shit.
Oh, I hate
God.
Discord so much.
I want to apologize for blowing you up as much in DMs in the last couple of days as I have.
No, it's all right.
I've gone through some trauma. I've gone through some terrible timing of things, and I was just like, I need help.
Some butthole trauma.
I'm telling you. Well, that's usually what happens when you're around, but that's different reasons altogether. Reasons altogether.
No, I went downstairs to make a cup of tea, but then you started calling me back up like, hey, where you going, buddy? It's like, I don't understand it as well, because in my Discord settings, it says that my headset is, like, my wireless headset is the mic that I'm using. Apparently it fucking isn't.
Apparently
Thanks,
it was
Discord.
not.
Absolute bastard. Oh, boy, oh boy.
So what is on your mind today, my friend?
I just wanted to say hello. I just wanted to say that the Idubbbz content cop was beautiful. The Last Jedi trailer was fantastic. Hell in a Cell was it was certainly a wrestling event.
It wasn't awful. In
terms of match quality, the actual matches were good. Like I wasn't expecting some of the matches. Like I wasn't expecting like Charlotte and Natalia to be good, but
definitely,
it was okay.
Yeah. I think both Hell in a Cells delivered.
Oh, do you know what? New Day and the Usos. What a match!
They went to war, dude.
Like pinned in the corner with the kendo sticks.
They took a little bit of inspiration from, I think it was Randy Orton and John Cena.
Yeah,
but still very, very awesome. Great spot.
Although it did make me laugh when they put Jimmy or Jay in the corner with all the mass amounts of kendo sticks pinning him there, and then they had a camera shot that kind of looked over Big E's shoulder, and you could clearly see that there was enough room for Jay to just slip his hands out and like maneuver the kendo sticks out the way if he wanted. But no, he just stood there with his cup in his bowls or whatever.
He was distraught. He didn't know what to do. I mean, it was the Hell in a Cell.
I liked the use of 2 trombones and a cymbal and a cowbell.
Everybody needs more cowbell.
Exactly, more cowbell. But yeah, it was. You know what? That was a really good match. I never thought I would say it. Like I remember when the New Day first arrived, and I never would have thought I'd have said, "Hey, New Day have been a great act." But then I also never thought in a million years that I would be saying the feud between the New Day and the Usos has been one of the best tag team feuds of the last like 5 years.
You might even be able to go farther than that because it's actually really good.
If we discount the fact that, let's say, the Shield and the Wyatt family and the Shield and Evolution, they weren't really tag team. Right. They were more faction based. In terms of tag team wrestling for tag team titles, the Usos and the New Day have just blown it out of the water.
Especially when there's nothing else happening in the SmackDown tag team scene. I mean,
there's literally nothing. Like even Shelton Benjamin can't save it.
No, I do like the line last night by the Usos, which I don't think they're very good talkers in general, but I like what they said. Look at Chad Gable. He went and got himself a Shelton Benjamin. That was funny. that had me laughing. I do have to admit. It was funny. I don't know if I like new Shelton. Shelton was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put on 40 pounds of muscle because reasons. He's just huge.
Why not? Some people just like to better themselves, don't they?
I guess, but he's not. He's not the same Shelton Benjamin to me. But he is 41 or whatever, so I guess it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, he's not doing all the athletic stuff that he used to do, but who knows? Maybe if he lasts to Money in the Bank, we'll get to see some crazy stuff from him.
Hope so. He does have a history of injuries, so who the hell knows on that? It's gonna be interesting how that goes. They're the new number one contenders.
At least we got Benjamin back and not Charlie Haas.
Good point. Good point. Not a Haas fan, huh?
Every time someone rags on Shelton Benjamin, every time someone's like, "Oh man, I wish Shelton Benjamin hadn't come back," it could have been Charlie.
It could have been. Yes.
We could have had the Charlie Haas pop, man.
World's greatest tag team, goddammit. Come on, what's wrong with that? My God. Oh, they got a better version than Chad Gable anyway, so they're fine.
I like being a bit of a hipster with the world's greatest tag team. Like, I remember when they were Team Angle.
Oh God,
dude, Team Angle was a good storyline. Like, I'd like that in general. Like when Angle had Team Angle with him, that was awesome.
Yeah, they do that every now and then. I mean, the Edge had Edge had the Edge heads. You had JBL with his, and this was all around the same time too. Ironically enough, JBL had his cabinet. Well, he also had he had the cabinet and everything with Jill. He's the one who introduced Jillian Hall with that fucking growth on her face, all that stuff.
Yeah, I remember.
That the Boogeyman ate. Yeah, it was great. How good was that shit?
Quality television. People think it's bad now. Oh.
I'm kind of getting away from that mindset too. I don't know if we're in all that bad of an era, man. I just like
I have what I've done recently with regards to wrestling, because I don't tend to catch Raw and SmackDown like live anymore. I don't even tend to watch the full Raw or SmackDown. I open the WWE app the next day and I watch the highlight videos that they've posted. Or if there's anything particularly controversial that would have been edited out of those, I'll be like, okay, let's get on YouTube. Let's get on like Watch Wrestling or whatever website you completely legally use to watch stuff. And I'll check out little bits and bobs. And then when it comes to the pay-per-view, I just watch it as a fan now. I don't sit there and go like, oh, this is going to be awful. And oh, they've booked this terribly. I sit there and I go, right, here are the matches. Do they sound good? And I'm like, well, Bobby Roode versus friggin' Dolph Ziggler. That on paper sounds incredible.
Right.
And then you watch the highlight package and you're like, they're really fighting over your entrances are silly. I can't decide my entrance, but I'm a really good wrestler. Well, I bet I could beat you. Oh, look, I beat you. But you didn't beat me. You cheated. Okay, well, maybe we should fight again. Yeah, but not today. Like,
that's essentially the sum up. That is really, that's spot on. It's spot on.
Then you watch it and you're a little bit like, yeah, okay, whatever, cool. And then you watch the match and some of the matches pleasantly surprise you. And then some of the matches you like, I mean, Orton versus Rusev is exactly what I expected it to be.
Well, the writing is really bad overall. Most of it. But I'll tell you this.
What's the deal with Rusev? I want to know what everyone deal with Rusev. No, because like I watch a lot of. Well, I used to watch a lot of What Culture, but
you're not anymore.
But a lot of people, like not even just them, a lot of people I talk to in the wrestling world are like, Rusev, such a good worker, such a great wrestler, so wonderful and so technical. And I'm like, I've never seen a Rusev match I've enjoyed.
I've never once.
Years.
I've watched him. I've watched him before he came to WWE. I've never been enamored with this guy. Ever.
I don't want to get into the Vince McMahon mindset, but I don't get what people see in him. He doesn't, to me, have the look of a wrestler that I would expect to be carrying the company. I don't see him holding a world title. I've never looked at him and been like, yeah, he could. Like, the only time I could see Rusev holding the world title is if Jinder Mahal hadn't turned up when he did. To be the angry anti-American, oh, look, I'm from another country, which means I hate everyone. And it's like, can we just do that with a Canadian again?
Right. I can tell you what Vince saw in Rusev, by the way. I can tell you exactly what he saw. Same thing he saw.
Was it 300 pounds of beef?
No, it was Lana. What he saw in Rusev was like, it's the same reason why nobody could really understand, even though this is unfair to Mark Marrow, but not a lot of people understood why bring over Mark Marrow at the time that they did. Mark Marrow was a phenomenal performer, by the way. Phenomenal performer. But by the time he got to WWE, he was a different guy. The reason why they brought him over was Sable. You know, it's the same thing with Rusev.
The next one is, why did they bring Mike Kanellis?
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Because
of Maria's booty.
Because of Maria. Oh, she's so... I'm so disappointed with what they've done with them. in so many ways. It's
yeah,
just...
but you know what? In some ways, yeah, it's terrible the way they booked them. They got them back and they were like, "Hey, Mike, you're a bit fat. Maybe you should lose some weight, Mike, since we hired you when you were in better shape, and now you've kind of let yourself go." But you know why Mike didn't get in shape? Because he knew what they were doing.
Maybe.
They were doing a karma. They were doing an awesome Kong. They were going, you know what? I'm going to get signed to WWE and immediately have a baby because their maternity pay is fucking glorious. So he turned up. He knew he didn't have to work out because his wife's going to sit on the shelf for a year.
Yeah.
Getting that WWE money. He doesn't need to go to work. He could get released next month and not give a shit. They've played the system.
It kind of looks that way. It's kind of fucked up. And I'm a Maria guy. I love Maria. I think
I'm not being funny, but with the way that WWE is as a company, as the way they don't hire injury-prone wrestlers generally because they're like, we don't want to pay you to just sit at home with like a torn ACL or something. That in the same way, they wouldn't hire somebody if they were like, by the way, we are trying for a baby, so maybe we might end up, you know, it might be that in the first storyline we end up pregnant, so we can't continue.
Right.
But no, so they wouldn't do that. So clearly Maria and Mike would have kept that quite hush hush.
They may have.
And then they turn up in the company, the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted, and they're like, you know,
gotcha,
what?
Bitch.
We're getting us some baby money.
We got a nursery. We got a nursery.
Exactly.
They did. They played the system. Good for them. I don't know how. I don't think they did it on purpose. Maria's too smart for that shit. I know Maria a little bit. Like
not smart enough to use a condom.
But this is a woman who has been like for the last 10 years been putting her life in order. Part of the reason why she went to the Indies was the fact that she was be able to go back to school. She got her degree. She's been building her clothing brands. I just missed doing an interview with her when I was back in the Cronin days. Just missed her, man. Missed her by just couldn't make it. It was unfortunate. Oh God! I almost died on camera. It's not good.
That's all right, Dave. You just cough over my fucking joke.
I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know how to apologize properly for my bodily function. So what's been going on with you, man? What has been happening with you the last month?
I'm actually working. I'm actually doing work. Not like in the real world. Not like
perish the thought.
But I'm actually getting on top of doing like my top 10s and stuff. The content that my fans want to see.
Yeah.
I started a new series, which the first episode's up on my Patreon, and it's
you can see it for a buck. You can see it for a buck.
The second episode is literally in front of me now. All I've got to do is like probably an hour of editing on it, and that's going to go up on Patreon, and that's not even due to go out on YouTube until next Wednesday. So it's all, you know, I'm getting myself into a position where things are rolling, things are moving, so hopefully then the views will just catch up, you know. That'd be nice.
That's what I'm hoping for too. I'm just like, you know what, maybe this work will pay off at some point. But it's hard taking a long break. You come back and everyone's just like, who are you? I don't know.
It's hard taking a short break. Like I had two days off where I went to EGX, and then I had probably about 3 days of no work because I got con flu. And then after
con flu.
Con flu is when you go to a convention and you're exposed to people, and because you're exposed to those disgusting, horrible other human beings.
He's talking about children, by the way. Children.
Yeah. You then get home and you're like, oh look, I have every flu going. This is fantastic.
It's just a hodgepodge.
So I had like 3 days of like bed rest, and then you get back and you sit down at your computer and you're like, right, where the fuck do I start?
Right. It's like, what do I do now?
How did I used to do this? Like, even when I was live streaming, like I'd sit there and I'd have OBS open, I'd have my game open, I'd have my chat ready, I'd have my Streamlabs little program open, and I'd be like, right, I'm ready to go. I've tweeted out the stream, I've clicked start streaming, people are in my chat, they're ready to go, the little welcome screen's there, and I'm like, what the fuck do I do? What do I say? I don't remember any of this.
Can imagine for a second that you go through all of that, but then at the same time you have to redo your entire. You have to build a new computer. You've got to put everything.
I don't envy you at all.
Oh God,
it was your
awful.
Entire setup.
It was
transfer all your files over. Make sure you've got all your programs that you needed, and then even then you start streaming. And you're like, wait, didn't I used to use this as well?
Right. It's like,
Do I really want to risk downloading this in the middle of a stream?
It's hard. It's hard, man. It's difficult. But you know what? It didn't take me that long. I got back up in a day. So it's not too
My
bad.
problem I have as well is like wanting to like upgrade everything when you know when you've got stuff to pay out for anyway. Like it's no small mystery that I've got my my taxes and stuff due, and it's like even then I'll sit there and I'll be like, you know what I should do? I should contact my ISP because I really need better upload speed, and I want to see if since because I pay for like the maximum that I can get over here, which is something like 200 download, 15 upload. I think I can get, and which sounds all right, but I still don't feel like it's enough. And I sit there and I'm like, I should really call them and see if there's anything better they can do. You know, maybe pay like £5 or £6 more a month. And I sit there and I go, Liam, you need to pay your taxes first before you start upgrading the system. And then I go into a little whiz mode of like, yeah, but maybe if I improve my stream quality and I improve my video quality by like maybe upgrading this and upgrading that, then maybe the revenue that I then get because I've upgraded everything, maybe that will pay for my taxes quicker. And then I'm like, but Liam, there's no guarantee. Stop, you're going down the wrong way. Just make your fucking content, dude.
Essentially, it's the same thing as like a playoff team in any sport. You know, almost at the playoffs, right? They go ahead and they get one more high-price free agent because this is what's going to make all their money in the fucking playoffs, and then they go out in the first round, or they even miss the playoffs. It's just like, it's unfortunate.
Like, it's weird. I get into a position where I'm like, I just want to make everything better so that people like my content more because then they're getting a better experience. And then you're like, yes, Liam, but first you need to continue as you are doing so that you can put yourself in a position to afford to do that.
Yes.
It's really weird.
It's important to prioritize. Let's pay the tax man first.
God, I absolutely love and hate simultaneously the YouTube world and the YouTube life.
It's quite an experience. It's definitely something that
it's unlike any other career path I've ever been down.
Oh, no question.
And incidentally, I wouldn't change it. Like, I would not, if I could do this or I could do my fucking optician thing I used to do, I would 100% go for this. And the sad part is that I didn't need a degree to do this. I needed to be able to click YouTube and go, tutorial.
YouTube is so frustrating, right? It can piss you off so much. You have up months and down months and all that good stuff. But still, when you really think about it, you're like, man, I wish I wouldn't have fucking went to school for the other thing. Because good Lord. I mean? that money's gone.
From start to finish, 8 years I worked in the optics industry. And for what?
Right. I mean, more than likely, you'll never use it again. More than likely. I mean, it's still possible. Don't get me wrong. But I see success in you. I see you reaching every one of your goals and surpassing because I think you're legitimately good at what you do. Of course, I'm just sucking your dick or whatever because I'm a dick rider. It's what I do. But no, I see that. So I don't think you're going to really need it in the future. But still, it's like, let me ask you, not to go into interview mode, but do you regret that time at all? I mean, like, when you look back on it, what do you see?
When I look back and I think back to the people that inspired me to start doing what I do, so like people like Jay Witz and people like Tamashi Hiroka and Dookie Shed, I look at when they started doing what they're doing.
Dookie Shed.
Yeah, I know. Fucking brilliant.
That was a great name. Sorry.
I just think, you know what? Why didn't I start when they started? Why was I so eager to make like I'm doing air quotes, make something of myself in the real world when I could have just sat at home, done this for a couple of years, and at that time it was a lot easier to grow because everything hadn't been done.
Yeah. But did you have the confidence back then? You know, it's like
zero. Well, when I started in 2015, I didn't have any confidence.
Right.
My first videos, which thank God are now privatized, so I can totally sympathize with Idubbbz on this one.
Everybody's got videos they don't want people to see. I don't give a shit. Who cares? That was such a weak argument by RiceGum.
It was 100% a weak argument. So I mean, the thing with that argument as well is like my point of. I've said to a lot of people who are talking about starting a YouTube channel and should I do it, like my quality is bad and stuff like that, is my whole point is the videos that I've privated on my channel from when I first started, I'm so boring and robotic and not confident that it's like I don't want to risk you coming to my channel and that being the first video that you see.
Right.
because you'll watch that video and you'll go, this guy's stuff is garbage. Yet the next video that could be recommended because you're watching a video by me, and hopefully YouTube is recommending a video by me as the up next. Just you clicking the next video could be the difference between you seeing this Liam, the old Liam, and the Liam now that is confident and can talk and can debate and just feels comfortable on camera and whatnot. And if you see that shit video first, you might not click my new stuff.
Very
and you
true.
might leave my channel thinking that I am a nobody, a newcomer who doesn't know what the fucking hell he's doing and can't entertain. And it scares me to think that people will find that content first and potentially not subscribe and potentially not view any more of my videos because they've not been entertained. So
and they're
why would
probably
I
not
keep
going to
that
look at the
video up?
date. They're probably not going to look at the date. I mean, my biggest video is a 125,000 view video from a random ass SmackDown. Nothing special about the SmackDown. It was just a random SmackDown review that I did where I believe I was still on the couch back then. You know, literally sitting on a couch, and the mic wasn't very good. I still think my ability to talk was fine, but like overall, it's just like and I have never taken it down. And I debate about it every now and then. I'm like, should I take that fucking video down? It's 125,000.
No, because that to me is top 5 saddest goodbyes.
Oh yeah,
most popular video on my channel. Also, today, even after my first video, this isn't my first video. This was like my maybe 10th or 11th video, I think, on my channel. And today, it is still my worst put together, worst set up, worst edited, worst filmed video, worst delivered, and it has 2.7 million fucking views and counting. And I can't, for love nor money, bring myself to private that video.
It's hard.
That is the only video that consistently keeps my dogs fed.
Right.
And I'm like, I mean, part of me thinks, why don't you just redo it? But there's no guarantee that lightning would strike twice.
No, there's none. You could do a part 2, which I think you did, didn't you?
I did do a part 2. And do you know what? To be fair, the part 2 is a little bit better. And I do like that video. But that's my favorite because that's my best performing video, because that went from, I think that got like 1.5 million views in its first like 2 or 3 months. Never had a video perform like that ever again, just that one. And at the time, I was like, whoa, I've struck gold. I know what to do now. And like,
right. I figured this out. I'm going to be rich, Ma. You know, it's just
for that month and a half, Liam figured out the algorithm, and then it went no.
Yeah, it really did.
Then it went too many F-bombs, you little shit.
And now, here we are.
Oh, boy.
Here's life.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to be... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I do miss the good old days when like YouTube was a lot... Like even a year ago, YouTube was a lot simpler. There was a lot less to worry about, but, you know...
And then everybody went crazy.
I'm just focusing. I've got... The thing is, I've got good viewers. I've got good people around me. Like, I do get down. I do get worried because I see the figures and I see them go up a little bit and then I see them drop back down to like lower than they were the week before. And I'm like, okay... You know, my regular viewers are watching, but why are other people not watching? And why out of the fucking 100,000 people that I've got are only, say, 15,000 people watching per day? Where's the rest of these people? What are they doing?
And then when you tweak, you go up, you down, you try to fix things. You think you're doing stuff that's working, and then like you'll have a down week, and then you start questioning all over again.
I'll be completely honest. There's one thing that makes me really fucking angry about like the only time I could ever say I'd be angry at. Not necessarily my regular viewers, but my viewership as a whole, is I get that for the better part of like 6 months, I didn't make top 10s, and top 10s is what got me where I was. And I did have a lot of people saying, Liam, when are you doing top 10s again? Liam, why aren't you doing these? I subscribed because I want top 10s and you're not making them anymore. Then I finally fucking come back. I'm making more top 10s than I've ever fucking made. I think I've made more top 10s in the last few months than I ever made on my channel before that. And they're better quality, and they're fucking good videos, and they're well written, and not to my own horn, they're the best work I've ever done in my fucking YouTube career, and no bastards watching them now. All these people that were there going, give me top 10s, I want top 10s. They don't fucking watch them when I do make them. So what's the bastard point? Like,
I get the exact same thing with wrestling. The exact same thing. And the reason why I stopped wrestling was fairly fucking legitimate. I was dying. I couldn't fucking do it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the word wrestling in your title today, and I was like, "Fuck, is he even going to get monetized for that?"
That's why I was hoping. Hashtag wrestling. I hope hashtag wrestling would save me for that. That's why I hashtagged it. I was like, maybe that'll help. I don't know if it does or not. It doesn't matter. I made $26 last month off monetization. What the fuck do I care? You know, it's like I'm not making shit. I'm here because I love doing this shit. But still, it's like when people are constantly, and to be fair, I don't have a lot of people chirping at me anymore about not doing wrestling. That's kind of gone by the wayside. But every now and then it will happen, and I'll feel guilty, especially when I'm watching wrestling. Because I got to be honest, Monday Night Raw was fucking amazing this week.
Wasn't it just?
It was great, man. Except for that fatal fucking 5-way.
I was gonna say, apart from Sister Abigail,
you know, I don't know how I feel about Sister Abigail, to be honest. I didn't hate it.
I don't mind if, like, because I know a lot of people are a bit like, oh wait, so Bray Wyatt's going to be trans now, and I'm like, I don't mind that. That's totally fine. I don't mind if he morphs into a woman. That's totally cool. Yeah. I just don't get what the point of it is, because they're not exactly like, it's not even like they're trying to make Bray sound like a woman, because that was just
a voice modulator. Yeah,
no, but it was just literally, it wasn't even like, oh, we'll modulate it and make it, because you can modulate a voice and make it sound like a woman.
Yeah,
but they didn't. They just went, this is high pitch. This is Bray on helium.
Yeah, basically.
It's not really intimidating, is it?
You know, there's something about it, man. There's something I liked. I like that they're trying to mirror the whole thing that Finn does with the demon. I kind of like that. I thought Finn sold it really poorly, like where it looked like he was going to shit himself afterwards. I'm like, you do this. This is what you do. How could you be scared of the same thing you do?
He looks in the mirror, turns into the demon, and then goes, oh, I'm going to shit myself.
I'm going to shit myself. A woman is coming after me. I don't know. I did like the things that Sister Abigail said, though. Does that make sense? Like, I like the story that she told. I guess. I thought that was kind of cool. It was still hokey and corny and all that, but I don't know. I kind of dug it. I didn't hate it.
Where do you think it's leading?
Demon makeup versus Abigail makeup. I don't think they're going too much farther than that. I mean, eventually, yeah, there could be a living embodiment of somebody. Maybe it's Paige, maybe it's somebody else, maybe it's.
I don't want it to be Paige.
I don't want it to be Paige
so
either.
Lame, though.
But there's a lot of options from the people who just came up.
There's Sister Abigail. All right, it's me, Paige. Remember when I dated that Mexican and he beat me up?
Oh God! I still have his tattoo somewhere on my body. It's awkward.
Yeah, Poppy. Is she still with Elrio, or is that what is that?
They've gotten real quiet. I think they are still together, but they've gotten real quiet.
Poppy.
I'll tell you, everything else really, why I liked almost everything that happened on Raw, except for like one or two things. The Shield. I can't believe it worked. Because remember, I was against this. I didn't think there was a point. I was like, no, it's too early. They don't need to do this now. Roman Reigns is building in a good way. You don't need, let's keep them separate. In fact, put them on a different fucking brand because there's no reason to do this. I was wrong. This was awesome. It was awesome. It worked. They did it perfectly. They could not have done it better. Loved it. Loved it. Even with the Miz.
I do just want to answer Ben in the chat real quickly. He says, have you ever thought about doing a survey like Emma Blackery did? Because Emma Blackery did like a survey of like, what content do you like? Who are you? What background are you from? What would you like to see more of? What era of Emma Blackery do you like? The thing is, Ben, that only worked for Emma because she's a 1 million plus sub channel. So even if only like 15% of her viewers are watching what she does, that's still what, 150,000 people.
Yeah, no, that's very true.
So whereas if I do a survey, yeah, I might get like 1,000, 2,000 responses, but I don't know if that would be representative of the whole audience.
Not enough to make changes. Not enough to really base anything of merit on. You know, so especially when you're gambling with your own money. Yeah.
For the like 500 to 1,000 people that would actually fill that survey out, is it worth changing my content then to what they seem to majority like? Because even then it'd be like 60% of the probably 1% of my audience that actually responded and liked certain content. If I change my content to that, am I then just gonna get like 30,000 of the people that didn't respond just going, well, this is shit now, I'm unsubscribing? It's really
I don't know if you're seeing this in the chat, but content deputy just dropped.
Oh shit! Yeah. Goodbye, Dave.
I know. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna take this last caller real quick, and then I'm gonna go watch this thing. God, I kind of want to watch it live, but I don't want to get fucking hit by. He'll hit me too, because I'd watch the whole fucking thing.
Hit you, would it?
Yeah, isn't he with somebody? Isn't he with the company? They'll hit me. If I played it in the background, they'd hit me. I know they would.
Oh, okay.
They have to. I'd almost feel bad if they didn't, Because I'm making money off their name. Because I would change this fucking title to Live Reaction to Idubbbz Content Deputy. Because I'm an asshole. But I don't know. It's not going to get monetized anyway.
I mean, the thing is, like, yeah, you don't care about monetization, so I'd just fucking do it, dude. To be honest,
kind of thinking about it. But what if I get a
strike?
Like
you won't get a strike because because you don't get an automatic strike. You'll get the obligatory, the monetization has been switched over, so all monetization goes to Idubbbz. You'll only get a strike if you contest that, and then they fire back with, we reject your appeal.
I worry. I'm a pussy, so I'm just gonna go watch it offline. Everyone's about to leave anyway. All right, Liam, thanks a lot, man. Let me take this last call and I'm gonna get out of here.
No worries, boy. Catch you Friday.
Friday, Nerd and the Jerk. We're back. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
Peace.
Ace Trainer Liam, everybody. Make sure you check him out. His information should be in the description box below. He's the man, the myth, and the legend. Dave, make this kind of show every day. It's way more entertaining than Tommy's. Thank you very much. Don't know if that's true, but I am the beholder. Let's take one more caller because Fall is Crazy has been waiting for a while. I want to go ahead and try to get him in. And, of course, he's not here. What the fuck? Come on, Fall is Crazy. I'm here for you. What are you doing? Unmute yourself. Undeafen yourself. Jesus H. Christ, Fall is Crazy. What is happening? Why don't you go ahead and get on here? You're here. This is your chance. You're blowing it. Oh, my God. Nuts juice, nut juice, nut juice, nut juice, nut juice, nut juice, nut juice. You fucked it up. There you go. We tried. Can't say that I didn't try. I'm going to go watch this Content Deputy. I'm going to go watch it. So thank you guys very much for joining us for I think, a pretty goddamn good episode of Dead on Dave Live. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know. Leave a comment after the show is over. Maybe tweet it out. Tell people on Twitter that the man, the myth, and the fat man, he just did a great show. Little Barb, I just dropped content. I know that's why I'm wrapping up the show. Maybe, depending on how good it is, maybe I'll come back live. Maybe I'll do a Periscope. Maybe I'll go to Twitch. Oh! Maybe. Keep your eyes on the skies, kids, because I might not be done tonight. We'll see you next time. Keep it copious, folks. And remember, as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. Take us home, Santa Claus and Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah. Bang. Hey guys, make sure you hit that subscription button. Look at me dance. Look at me dance.